Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots, Liquor Shills, Deathly Search, Peasants, Vassals, Tsingtao fans. I'm a useful idiot. Today I want to talk about this Chinese company who's making the largest purchase of a U.S. company in history. And this is an interesting story in a number of ways, including a couple of things that are kind of disturbing about it. So we have the Smithfield company, the largest pork distributor and company in the United States, and it distributes meat all over the world. They've been in business for 77 years. It's a $13 billion global enterprise, 46,000 employees. And this Chinese buying spree in the U.S. is really getting pretty interesting in itself. Chinese bought, just in 2012, 49 different U.S. corporations for a total of $12 billion. But this one company would deal would be the largest single purchase of a U.S. company, a $4.7 billion deal by the Shanghai International Holdings company in China. And they are the dominant sausage processor, pork supplier in China, which, as you can imagine, would be a gargantuan company. In fact, they're worth a total of $7 billion at this point. And they were privatized, let's see, what year? I think it was 2006, but I could be wrong. But anyway, that's another interesting part of the story, because the investors in the Shanghai International Holdings company, who own half the shares in the company, are a consortium of bankers and investors, including Goldman Sachs, CDH Investments, Singapore's Sovereign Wealth Fund, and the New Horizon Capital, which is a private equity firm co-founded by the son of the ex-Chinese prime minister. So a little bit of Chinese capitalist cronyism there. It's nice to see. But it turns out Goldman Sachs and CDH Investments Consortium bought the Chinese state out of this company, Shanghai International Holdings, for $250 million. So the fact that they have a half the shares in the company now worth a net worth of $7 million is a pretty good return on their investments. And Shanghai International Holdings said that their goal is to be the biggest meat supplier in the world. And I would probably imagine that if the deal goes through, Shanghai International Holdings combined with Smithfield would have to be one of the biggest meat suppliers in the world. And Shanghai already set up an offshore account in the Cayman Islands for the Smithfield deal. So once again, we get to see a good home-style Chinese capitalism. And Morgan Stanley is the bank being used as the deal maker here. So interesting how all the top five banks, the too big to fail banks on Wall Street, of course, they collude now. They don't really compete. So here we see another example of that. Of course, it's a lot more lucrative. And but the things that are kind of scary about this, of course, is having Chinese ideas about food production brought to the United States. And I assume they would continue running Smithfield in much the manner it is now, but it just kind of worries me, considering the background of Chinese food supply in general. And in fact, the Shanghai International Holdings Company, there's a 2012 scandal involving illegal additives. And I also have to wonder if, what was it, a year ago, 16,000 dead pigs floating dead in the Huangpu River. And this is just out of Shanghai. And I don't know if Shanghai International Holdings is in Shanghai, where 16,000 dead pigs are floating in a river nearby, contaminating their water supply, but it'd sure be interesting to find out, wouldn't it? So here's another interesting example of globalization. We have China perhaps making the largest corporate buyout in the United States in our history and their history, and should be an interesting development. And China is coming to the U.S. They're invading, just not the way we pictured it. I'm a useful idiot. Don't you be one too.